Hello, Jamie here from Inky and Scrappy, sharing with you today another platform pop-up using lawn fonts, just add glitter, and some stamp masking slash altering. I am using that color combo that I used with for the Doodlebug Cute and Crafty paper pack. I actually end up pulling in a piece of 12 by 12 Doodlebug today for that platform pop-up add-on background piece, and I'm just picking my images. So to start this card, I was planning on doing an A2, and as I was looking at them, I was like, they would make a really cute craft room style card. And so the platform just kind of happened. I might be addicted to platform pop-ups. Totally addicted. So when I got the platform pop-up, I had gone through all of my free lawn fawn paper stash from my orders from them, and I had, taken whichever two, like if I had two that matched, and then I would cut them out. So I already had the yellow ones cut out, and they just went with that yellow chair. It was just destined. Destiny, man, destiny. I am surgically altering my stamp set here. Kelly Marie had talked about doing this to the Den Sweet Den picture frame, and I had thought about it when I had gotten it, but I just hadn't gotten around to actually doing it. And it's the only picture frame I have that goes with my lawn fawn sets. So I bit the bullet and I did it. It was a little nerve-wracking. The X-Acto knife wasn't working properly or just didn't cut very well, so I did end up going with a very sharp scissors. I just took my time and made sure that I didn't cut any of the stamp that is actually going to hit paper, and it turned out good. So I now have a picture frame that I can put anything in, and it so reminds me of the picture frame that hangs on the door in Friends. Yep. Pretty sure that's going to have to happen somewhere along the road here, isn't it? So I'm just stamping a bunch of these on my Express It Copic friendly cardstock. And then I pulled in the shelf from Perfectly Wicked. And then I'm going to stamp that glitter bottle on the shelf. So to make sure that my glitter bottles are on the shelf and not floating too far above it or going over the front of it, I'm just masking off that front. It makes it a lot easier. And of course I didn't stamp this one quite right, so I couldn't fit another glitter bottle on there. So I didn't like the empty space, just like in my studio. So I found a spool of baker's twine or yarn, whatever it is, to add to my shelf, because let's face it, if I have open shelf space, something is going to be on it. Then I took that same masking paper, or I guess it's Post-it note tape, and made little masks for 3 sides of my picture frame here. And then I'm pulling in the baby mouse from Bubbles of Joy. And I will also pull in the mama and baby mouse from Dandy Day. I kind of shot my stash to find the littlest mouse image I could find, kind of representing maybe Mama Mouse's kids or nephews and nieces, or maybe when she was little. I don't know. It was definitely inspired by my craft room. I have shelves above my desk that have glitter on them in Roy G. Biv order, as with all of my inks and such. And I have pictures hanging up everywhere. So, take inspiration from your surroundings, right? I am going to put my platform pop-up bases together here. And I can't tell you if one way is better than the other. I'm pretty sure I do them both ways this time, where I fold down to meet my adhesive and the next half will be the other way. It all depends on how I put that T in, if the adhesive is facing up or facing down, how I put those platforms together. Yeah, I can't say I'm consistent in a lot of things. This is definitely one of those things I'm not consistent in. And, I can't tell you if one way is better than the other. I do them both probably equally so. And so I'll add the second one to the second part of the platform pop-up. And then I don't use that third T. I use a full sheet or a fuller piece of paper. It usually doesn't always go down to the bottom, but it does cover the whole portion. I think it just makes that center shelf, I guess you could call it a shelf, more stable and or stronger. And I measure it every time. I'm pretty sure it's about 3 3/4 of an inch, or I think I cut it just under 3 3/4 of an inch because I don't want it to go all the way to the edge, but close. And then when I put my platform pop-ups together, I do try to make sure to use double-sided tape and liquid adhesive. The double-sided tape helps to hold it together instantly, and the liquid adhesive helps to hold it together in the long run. So as you're playing with it, moving it, those sorts of things, that liquid adhesive definitely holds stronger and truer than the double-sided tape. In Minnesota, it's super dry in the winter with the cold, and the cold affects that adhesive, or at least the double-sided adhesive, adhering very well long term. So it's just what I have found works the best for where I am at. And I decided to keep this one fairly simple today and not do a whole bunch of things on the foreground or on that front tee. So I made my sentiment for that front piece there. I'd actually cut the sentiment out with an Avery Elle Sentiment strip. So I just picked the one that matched the sentiment that I was using the best and making sure that it would fit on that front riser shelf. And then I will start assembling my scene here. So putting my little mice on their chairs. So the table and chairs just remind me of elementary school. I don't know about you, but we had old stuff. So I was in elementary school in the mid to late 80s. And I just remember kindergarten, first grade, second grade, maybe even third grade. Everything was orange and yellow. Orange and yellow chairs. Maybe some dark blue in there as, the orange and yellow started to, and some brown. But yeah, everything was orange and yellow. So I'm just going to continue to add my little crafty bits to my table, trying to make it look fairly full there. As in real life, I'm pretty sure you can't see the top of mine either. And then for my scissors here, because I decided to add them to my mouse's hands, and the mouse is fairly small and the scissors are fairly small, I do tend to fussy cut around the part that it's least is going to be on top of the mouse or covering the mouse, just because that white, I think, takes away from the image itself. It's probably fine without doing that, but it's just that little extra that I like to do. Because you will see I add the mug here thinking, oh, it's not that bad because it's only going to be a little bit. And yeah, I don't know. My mind's eye just says it looks funny. So you could mask and stamp, especially if you're using the Brother Scan and Cut to cut your images. You could stamp and mask, but that too takes extra time, and it's almost faster for me to just fussy cut those two little images out as opposed to either masking and stamping or selectively cutting those with the scan and cut, like unselecting them and then re-scanning and cutting those out separately from the other images. I just find it's faster to fussy cut the few things. And then for that back shelf level layer, what is that thing called? Well, I don't know. We're just going to call it a shelf today. So for that back one, I'm just going to do some paper and some envelopes because, you know, we try to send crafty things to our crafty friends. And so I'm going to add that to the back. And you really don't see it. I mean, you can see it through the table a little bit. And when you're looking at it from different angles, you will see the background there. You know, the overflow from the crafty work surface. Yes, I have paper on my floor. It is what it is. So I'm going to add that glitter shelf to the top of my card here. And I did go with that crafty saying paper from the 12 by 12 paper pack. I just loved the rainbow look to it and all of the crafty, you know, craftiness is happiness. Make time to make stuff. Live, love, create. I liked all of those sayings. So I figured that kind of went well with the whole scrapbook room theme. And then, of course, I had to glitter the glitter because you can't have glitter jars without shiny, glittery stuff. And then I will add double-sided adhesive and liquid adhesive to my platform pop-up add-on back piece here. And then I will tuck that in there. I did also add my picture frames to my walls. And then, of course, I had to add more glitter to my glitter. You didn't expect any less, did you? And then to finish off my box here, I am just going to add those pieces from the original platform pop-up. The, I guess, paper ribbon. And then the paper bow. So I will add these to the front. And it didn't fit like it was supposed to perfectly on the front there, but it really doesn't matter if you have a little gap there because that front bow is going to cover it up. I did take my rounded bone folder and kind of added a little bit of a bow to the bow, and then adding some double-sided adhesive or some foam double-sided adhesive underneath those little bumps. So when I mail it, it hopefully will hold the shape a little bit better. Oh, excuse me. And then I will add the center of the bow with another piece of foam adhesive. So it gives it a little bit more of that depth and dimension. And so for the back of my platform pop-ups, I use the stitch rectangle die from Law and Fawn. I'm not certain which set it comes in, if it's the bigger one or the littler one, but it does measure about 2 1/4 by 3 1/2, and that fits perfectly on that larger back panel when you have the platform pop-up add-on panel on the background. And then I usually just add the double-sided adhesive to the back of this, and I don't actually pop it on my platform pop-up until I'm ready to send it. I will write on it on a flat surface, and then I don't have to worry about trying to write on the platform pop-up when it's folded. I do love how when this one is closed, the little mice are not even in the picture frame, so you definitely get that little surprise on this one. I do love how it turned out. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. I love to hear from you all. Thank you.